Hello everyone, Don Antonio from the Cigar Cast, and we're back for another episode. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to alternatively light and then cut a cigar. Now, I overheard this technique in a conversation, and I wanted to employ it for the first time myself. So tonight, earlier, a gentleman came in by the name of Patrick Letary, and I used this method to light his Romacraft Nomad. So, Joe, if you can come in a little bit, I want to just show the Oscar Valadere cigar here, the Cicerone. I've smoked it twice previously using the other method. I had in my, I believe, the first video that I had done, how to light and cut a cigar properly. So, since I've smoked the cigar twice before, I'll be able to tell if there is any discernible difference between that lighting technique and this lighting technique. So what is this lighting technique? Well, this lighting technique will employ 3 cedar strips. The cedar wood comes from the cigar boxes, and it separates the bottom 10 cigars from the top 10 cigars. And we take that and we can cut it up into strips like so. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that with basically a carpet knife. Okay, so I'm just going to cut 3 strips here, Joe. I like to go just about that size, somewhere between probably 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, not quite a half. There's 2, and this should be plenty of wood, but I'm just going to keep 1 on deck just in case I need 1 more. Okay, so let's go right to it. So here's the theory behind this lighting method. Okay, we keep the head closed and we don't use the force of a lighter or take a draw in. So none of the impurities from the lighting experience can end up on the filler tobacco in the cigar. That's the theory. So we're going to go ahead and begin. I don't want to get too far ahead in my explanation. I'll explain it as we go. Okay, so here's the first cedar stick. I'm putting it right to the foot of the cigar here. Now, if I'm going to turn it this way, Joe, so they can all see as well that I am not getting underneath the cigar where I might scorch the wrapper, which I do not want to do. I'm holding the cedar stick on a little bit of an angle here, and I'll just keep rotating so you can see that. All right, maybe I'm talking a little bit too much and I blew the flame out. So we just go back at it. They don't call me One Take Tony with no edits for nothing. Okay, here we go. It wants to burn. There we go. Now that's a fire. Okay, so this is the first pass. We're basically getting the cigar used to the heat, giving it a little bit of a toasting, and the next 2 will really do the job of lighting the cigar. Now, when I saw this being done for the first time, I kind of cringed, thinking that this was an improper way to do it. But I said, you know what? There's only one way to determine that, and that's to do it myself. So what the hey? Try new things. There's more than one right way to light a cigar. The best way is at the lowest temperature possible, and this seems to be a pretty low temperature process, so I'm not kicking. Okay, so here I can see the blueness of the flame underneath. So I know I'm getting the bottom part, which is terrific. And notice I'm not waving the cigar in any way or blowing on it here like I had done in previous videos. This supposedly is the cleanest way to light a cigar. So we're gonna find out if I could taste the difference on the first draw. And you can see it does take quite a bit of time. So if you're impatient, I suppose you shouldn't be smoking cigars. I don't know. All right, so it's part of the ritual. And now I'm trying to just concentrate on that center piece. Now the funny bit is, right, is I haven't cut the cigar yet. And that's because we don't want any air flowing through the cigar. We're really trying to minimize any of the unpleasant flavors that could be imparted during the lighting experience here. We're trying to mitigate all that. So I'm about to burn my fingers again, which is a good thing because that means we're almost done and can take the... So Okay, so at this point I'm going to explain to you that as soon as I'm done holding the flame to this cigar, I'm going to cut it with my Cigar scissor. I'm going to purge 3 to 5 seconds, and without the cigar leaving my mouth or taking a hesitation between purge and first draw. So I'll take the first draw on the cigar immediately after purging. Okay, here we go. So the usual cut, we're only removing the cap, trying not to get into the filler. Open it up just a little bit more on this side so it's completely symmetrical. Just brush it a little bit, get any of the flyaways out of the way. Purge. Draw. Folks, my initial reaction here is that this actually tastes better than my original way, how to cut and light a cigar properly. So perhaps this is the new way to cut and light a cigar properly, at least for myself. I don't know that I could do this at the counter for every customer, especially if there's a line. They'll probably look to shoot me. So this is Don Antonio saying thank you for watching. Click subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notified for every video that's coming out. And remember to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment, a suggestion so that I could tell the videos to you, the audience. Don Antonio signing off. Thank you, Joe Parry, for filming this video. Thank you, Patrick Lettieri, for being my guinea pig for the first go around so I can make sure it was safe to do this for myself. Signing off.